If you've ever hiked the Gorge, you know it demands your respect. The steep rock stairs, the ladders, the way the canopy blots out the sun. Usually, I love it. But that afternoon, I wasn't climbing to appreciate the view. I was running. They told me time heals, you know? They told me to go home, to let it go. But they didn't see the dark pull her under. They didn't hear the silence leave a vacuum in that empty house. Ever since she left, ever since she took her life, my world has been a hollow, angry place. I was furious with the universe, furious with the silence. Most of all, I was angry with God. I needed to outrun the pain. I wanted to get so high up that the noise in my head would finally just stop. I told a mate I'd meet him for dinner by 7. Thought I'd just do a quick 3-hour loop up to the back table and back down. I just took some basics, a water bottle, some energy bars, and a warm jacket shoved into my day pack, because anyone from the Cape knows the mountain dictates the weather, not the forecast. I pushed hard and made it to the top. I walked over to the historic dams on the back table, to the exact spot where she and I used to sit. We'd bring a little picnic blanket, spread out some food, and just laugh for hours. I sat there on the cold sandstone, looking at the water, demanding answers from a sky that wouldn't answer back. I wanted to look God in the eye, up here in his light, and ask him why he let the monster win. Why her? Why like this? I thought I was in control. I thought my hands were strong enough to fight this grief. But the mountain doesn't care about my anger. It doesn't play fair. I lost myself in the memories. By the time I checked my watch, my stomach dropped. Time had completely run away from me. It was nearly 4:45. In the winter months, the sun doesn't wait for you. And then, like a curtain dropping on the world, the cloud bank rolled in. Within 3 minutes, visibility went to less than 2 meters. The temperature plummeted. It was a complete whiteout. I panicked. I knew the way to the nursery ravine stairs, but in that blinding fog, all the rock formations started looking the same. I missed the wooden signpost. I missed the metal ladder. Instead, I veered north, straight onto a faint, unmapped track. Nursery Buttress. At first, the ground felt flat and sandy. I thought, okay, I'm heading down. I'm on the right track. But then, the trail just vanished. Suddenly, I was pushing through thick, soaking fynbos, slipping on wet, jagged rocks. One wrong turn onto the ridge, and the whole world just seemed to shear off into nothing. I hit a steep drop. Anxious to get off the dark mountain, I slid down on my buttocks, grabbing at tree roots and wet grass just to stay upright. I landed heavily, caught my breath, and looked back up. My heart stopped. The rock face I just slid down was completely vertical, slick with moisture, and totally unclimbable. I couldn't go back. There was no retreat. I was trapped on a narrowing ridge, heading down into a white abyss, with the wind roaring through a massive rock gap like a freight train. The twin towers of the buttress. Loose gravel was sliding out from under my boots, clattering into the nothingness below. I was using my bare hands now, scraping my palms raw against the sharp sandstone. I scrambled down into a steep, open rock recess, thinking it was a gully out. It wasn't. I took one more step and froze. The slope completely disappeared beneath my feet. A sheer 10-meter vertical cliff dropped straight into a void of dense cloud. Somewhere down there, hundreds of meters below, were the tree canopies of Kirstenbosch, but I couldn't see them. I looked left. impenetrable, thorny bush. I looked right, a straight drop. I couldn't climb back up the wet rock faces behind me. I was officially cliffed out, stranded on a freezing, exposed ledge, with the night completely taking over. I pulled out my phone with trembling fingers to call my mate. No signal, not even an emergency SOS. The anger was gone. The ego was gone. I was entirely at the mercy of a higher power. I didn't know if God was real. I've spent months hating him for letting the dark take her. But I was losing too. And I didn't want to die out here. I wanted to live. For the first time in months, I didn't scream. I just whispered, "If you have any mercy left, please save me." Then the mist parted slightly, and through the grey gloom, I heard it, a sharp, metallic clack-clack of hooves on solid rock. I looked up, and my breath caught in my throat. Standing right on the edge of the impossible drop was a solitary, majestic bull tar. His massive, scimitar-shaped horns glistened like polished black glass in the damp air. His thick, shaggy mane was drenched, covered in thousands of tiny diamond-like water droplets. But it was his eyes. He turned his head over his shaggy shoulder and locked his piercing, golden amber eyes right onto mine. He didn't run. In a whiteout where wild animals usually vanish, he just stood there, watching me. He let out a sharp, whistling snort through his nostrils, shattering the silence. Then he turned and stepped directly off the sheer cliff face. I scrambled to the edge, terrified. But he hadn't fallen. He had stepped onto a hidden, narrow, sloping ramp of rock cutting horizontally through the vertical trap, a path completely invisible from above. He paused on the ledge and looked back at me, waiting. I had no choice. I trusted him. I carefully edged along that narrow shelf, following the steady, rhythmic sound of his hooves gripping the abrasive sandstone, step by step. He guided me completely out of the dangerous amphitheater of the buttress and led me right back to the top of Nursery Ravine, right to the wooden signpost and the engineered safety of the wooden stairs. I stepped onto the path, turned around to look at him, but he was gone, melted instantly back into the white tablecloth mist. Left behind on the wet stone was nothing but a single hoofprint. The dark is vast, but it didn't win. You heard me. God didn't send a bolt of lightning to answer my anger. He sent a ghost of the mountain to lead me home.